Hi everyone, this is episode 26 of the Triple Cross Cinema. I'm Mario, and here with me is always my man, Wooper.
Hey, we're back after 1 year. How's everyone doing?
Yep, yep. It's actually gonna be an exciting episodes because we're gonna cover our top tens of the 2024.
Yep.
So it's the third year that we've been covering this. Before we do it in 2022, where we agree on the number one films which was Tar, and on 2023 where we disagree. So I got my my top my top one is the Zone of Interest, where Pooper have Perfect Days,
Hmm.
which didn't even make the others top 10 list.
Right.
So I wonder which side this year will fall on.
Well, if I had to guess, I would say that your pick will probably be somewhere in my top 10, and my number one will be somewhere on your top 10. And the reason I say that is
Hmm.
because while I was 100% certain about my top pick last year and the year before,
Right.
this
Yeah.
year there were several films that were vying for that top spot. So I feel like there's lots of
Hmm.
competition at the top, which means
Hmm.
I suppose more chances for each of us to recognize several of those films throughout our lists.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
of
I
course,
agree.
I don't know that for sure.
Yeah. So this year, we've watched around like 40 films each. I think Whooper did a bit more than me. I didn't watch any like documentary, for example, but I think it really comes a small number compared to like true cinephile, because I think they would go through 40 films in, let's say, like 2 months.
Yeah,
But
probably.
well, I think we did watch some really good ones, great ones of the year. So
Yeah, I guess
I
so. But I mean, for me,
mhm,
I watched around like a little less than 50.
right.
And for me, that's a lot, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Well,
I did have the summer off, so that gave me some time. Um,
right. Yeah,
but it still felt like a lot, you know. I
yeah.
For somebody who does this for a living, of course, that's a drop in the bucket. But in my mind, 50 is enough, or around 50 is enough to find 10 that you're happy with putting at the top.
Yeah, yeah. I absolutely agree with that. So as per tradition, we go through our top 10 from 10 to 1. We do have some honorable mention if we want to, like particular highlight some of the films, or certain things, certain aspect in the films. Not sure if you have any honorable mention this time, Whooper.
I have one honorable mention, and it's for an actress rather than a film.
Right. Hmm. All
Do you
right.
want to do
I
yours
have
first?
two. All right. So I have two. So I go one, and then you go yours, and then I go the other one, and then we go to the top 10.
Sounds good.
All right. So my first honorable mention is actually a string of films. So I would say that this year is an outstanding year for animations. So I just want to highlight some of the animation that I really enjoy this year that didn't make my top 10. So that would be Flow. I would list Indie Darlings, about a cat journeys, Memoirs of a Snail.
Hmm.
I watch all of the Adam Elliott stuff, so I am no stranger of his dark humor, and this is, I would say, one of his most accessible features, and it also features cameras, the place where I live.
Yeah, I remember sending
Uh,
you a screen cap of
yeah,
like a billboard with Canberra,
yeah,
like the crow
the
mascot on it.
the yeah, the Celtic city in Australia or something. That what you say in the billboard.
Right.
Anyway, and then just a mention of like this is uh, a sharp edge. I think that's
Yes.
pretty funny.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Um,
irony in that film. So a billboard
yeah,
saying that it's the world's safest city, of course, also has to point out this billboard could kill you if you're not careful.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the Wild Robot, I think this is like one of the mainstream animation that done right, and and look back, which
Mm.
which we talked in length in the other podcast. So it's a pretty good year for animations.
Yeah, Look Back is one that I considered putting on my list. I also enjoyed Flow and The Wild Robot,
Hmm.
and I
Yeah.
saw Memoir of a Snail as well, and it's it was it was good. I was a little weirded out by it,
Uh, okay.
but I would be I would be open to watching more of the director's work.
Yeah.
Um,
He actually won a Oscar before for his short films back in like 2003. So and then he made a debut features back in 2009. Adam and oh oh my god, the name escaped me now. But it was really well received as well.
okay. Well, I do I do like stop motion, so something to go back to
Hmm.
perhaps.
Yeah. All right. What is your honorable mention?
I would like to highlight an actress, an Indian actress who was in two films, both of which had feminist themes. Well,
Hmm.
one was more overtly feminist. The other one was kind of like fuck men, uh, but also about the bond between a mother and a daughter. So I guess
Hmm.
it's safe to say they're both
Hmm.
feminist movies. The actress's name is Kani Kusruti. Um,
Hmm.
I tried my best to pronounce her name. I'm sure I didn't get it quite right. So she was in All We Imagine Is Light and Girls Will
Right.
Be Girls, both of which
Oh, right.
deal with female sexuality. In
Hmm.
at, in both films, she kind of represents the like a conservative point of view within India, held by older women or older
Hmm.
people in general. But there's also like a sexuality or perhaps a sensuality running underneath both of her performances in those two films. So what she manages to
Hmm.
convey in each of them, I think, is that even though attitudes towards like open sexuality of women in parts of India is not very warm or welcoming, that's nevertheless a part of um, not not just humanity, but it's part of being a woman. It's part of being a person. And I think she represents that well in both of those movies.
Right. Is he the older nurse in the in
In All
All
We
We
Imagine Is
Imagine?
Light,
It's like
yes, she's the older
yeah.
nurse.
All right.
And in Girls Will Be Girls, she's the mother of the main character. I would say
Hmm.
she's one of the three principal characters.
Right.
And she
Hmm.
like kind of
I,
represses her daughter's urge to like experiment, but at
hmm.
the same time tries to like insert herself into her daughter's life uh,
Hmm.
in order to capture like what she wasn't able to have herself as a girl.
Right.
It's there's a
Well.
lot of tension I think to her performance in both films, but in Girls Will Be Girls in particular, the way that she relates to her daughter and the way that they like grow apart and then come back together is definitely worth a watch.
Hmm. Very interesting. All
So
right.
Kani Kusruti, that's my honorable mention. What's your second honorable mention?
Yeah. Yeah. My second one. Before we get to my second one, I just want to say that Adam Elias' first feature is Mary and Max. All right.
Who's this? Oh, the memoir of a snail guy or girl.
Yep. 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 Mary and Max. That's the first feature back in 2009.
And does it have
All
similar
right.
character designs to Memoir of a Snail? Like the
It
droopy
is. It
eyes and the
is.
fat characters and everything?
Yep. 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 That's just his distinctive style.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And the same tone as well.
So
I
like
would say even
really
more
ironic and kind of
bitter.
grotesque.
Yeah. I would say even more bitter than sweet this time.
Mm.
I
Oh,
uh I
that sounds
say
good to me.
wow. I just say I just think that memoir of a snail. Memoir of a snail. It actually his happiest one that I watched so far from
Yeah.
him because we did have a happy ending.
Yes. Yeah. You have to kind
So
of push through to get to it, but And it
Right.
does feel like midway through the film as though you're going to get there eventually. There's not really a question about um,
Hmm.
the fact that the film's going to end on a positive note. I don't think.
Right.
Yeah, but
All
the
right.
the bitterer, the more bitter, the better in my mind.
All right. So maybe you might enjoy his first feature then. We see about that. If you ever interested to watch his first one.
Well, I do have an idea that the two of us might go back in time and watch some older films in a
Hmm.
best of type format, but we'll talk about that later. So
Yeah.
that could be
All right.
part of that. I don't
That's a
know.
good. All right. My second honorable mention would be this also two films. So I would say that this year is a year that have two very different but welcoming features about tennis. So
Hmm.
one is a drama from Belgium, Julie Kipwires, that take a realistic approach to the potential abuse that I feel still like resonate to the real life tennis circle. But I also feel that it's too understated for its own sake. The other one is a very stylized romance tennis film called Challengers.
Right.
That it was the first film that I watched in for 2024 back in last year March or April when it's available online. It's a seductive, sexy, and overall a very fun ride that features strong performances across the board. It was in my top 10 for the longest time, and sadly it's ended up just outside of the top 10. So make it number 11 if you will.
So you have a top 16 essentially.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Four animated films, two
It's
tennis
it
films, and a top 10.
all right. It's gonna be the best out of the honorable mentions one. So it's gonna be the 11,
Okay.
so to say.
I mean, I should note that the two films, All We Imagine Is Light and Girls Will Be Girls, they're not like they weren't bubble films for me. They're not right outside the top 10.
Oh
I didn't feel like
wow.
super duper strongly about either of them. But I
Hmm.
wanted to
Right.
note, you know, Kusuruti's
Yeah.
performance. So I really just have like
Wow.
I pretty solidly have 10. I would say like I have a top 9 probably, and I was debating the
Hmm.
10 spot. That's how my list came together in the end.
Wow. All right. I see. I see. So the 10 that you have is like not belong to your essentially top nine.
Well, I mean, it belongs, but barely.
All right. I guess we shall find out about that then. So let's go to the top 10.
Okay. So should I go first,
All right.
meaning you'll end with your number
No.
one, or do you want to go first, meaning I'll end with my number one?
All right. I think I will go first. Actually, I want to get my number one as a surprise, as
Okay.
I like as a one for you to guess. So I think you can start with your 10, and
Sure.
then I gonna finish off with my number one.
That works for me. We were just talking about the fact that my top 10, quote unquote, doesn't belong. So I'll just reveal what it is. We'll kick things
All
off.
right.
My number 10 is The Seed of the Sacred Fig.
Oh wow.
Let me
Yeah.
scroll to it here. I got my notes up in front of me, as well as the Wikipedia page for all 10 of these films so I can quickly see the cast list. So
Yeah.
this is an Iranian film that, for me, was educational or perhaps re-educational. There
Mm-hmm.
were protests several years ago. I would say 2 to 3 years ago in Iran. Lar- Large, like the demonstrations were largely female, and they were protesting hijab laws as well as the killing of Mahsa Amini, who was
Mm-hmm.
an Iranian teenager who died in police custody. Um, they said that she had a stroke, but the cause, like what brought about the stroke, was the subject of a lot of like media frenzy and debate and speculation. A lot of people think that it was due to mistreatment in police custody,
Mm-hmm.
although, of course, Iran denies that. And just in general, it's not. It, it's not certain how she died, but
Mhm.
her death kicked off a wave of protests that factor into this film. At multiple points, there are like it. First of all, it's set in 2002, so
Mm.
her death is a plot point in the film itself. She's not a character, but there are news reports about it, and sometimes the film will cut to like real life footage that was uploaded to social media, I suppose, of protests that were happening around that time. So happening in the universe of this film as well. This is a really a very observational and kind of stoic movie that takes almost 3 hours to reach its climax. It's a family
Mhm.
drama, and it's about like the I don't know a conflict between generations, a father and a mother who are staunchly conservative and traditional, and their two daughters who are more I don't know longing for freedom, for women's place in Iranian society to change. And uh, so this film is very it's slow paced, and I was very into it for I would say the majority of its runtime. But when we
Mhm.
got to the third act, where the father like imprisons his family members in order to extract a
Mhm.
confession from them about what happened to his gun because he's grown paranoid that one of them has stolen it. Uh,
Mhm.
that like the tension was definitely there, but I just felt as though the film was running a little bit long at that point.
Mhm.
Um, so that's the reason why it's not placing higher, I suppose.
Right.
I did really like the way that the real life footage was spliced into the film because the girls are like acquainted with and kind of tangentially involved in the protests that are happening, which
Mhm.
makes their like infuriates their father and worries their mother. Um, Also, want to point out the way that water serves as a metaphor in this movie because the father um, at near the start of the film, he is promoted and he gets the job of an investigator. I think is his
Mhm.
title. Uh,
Mhm.
he wants to become a judge. In order to receive another promotion and to provide for his family and be recognized for his work and everything. But before he can become a judge in the Revolutionary Court, he must first serve as an investigator. And he receives that job like at the same time that all these protests are breaking out. So it's terrible timing. And he's
Mhm.
forced essentially to sign the death warrants of people whose guilt is not certain. And
Mhm.
so, in addition to his paranoia about the gun that's disappeared from his home, there's also his guilt over what he's being forced to do at his job that contributes to his like mental spiral. So
Mhm.
that in mind, that bearing that in mind, the use of there are many shots of him. For example, his reflection in the window as rain is hitting the window and kind of framing his face. There's water around him that way. There's the scene where his wife like drips water over his head and kind of massages his head in preparation for a haircut and a beard trimming. There's a scene where he takes a
Mhm.
shower and the glass of their shower has like decorative opaque stripes over it. So you only see parts of his
Mhm.
face, which kind of brings to mind like a redacted document with big blocks of black ink or whatever that are obscuring the truth. Uh, so the he's essentially he's through the use of water in this film, he's trying to escape his guilt, to like wash it away or scrub it away. But in the end, he ends up buried alive. So that's about
Mhm.
as far from water as you can get. He's buried in the sand, and I think the film, pivoting away from the water motif and ending with like death by dryness, essentially, uh, is kind of a message that you can't you can't escape your guilt and your I don't know your paranoia and your traditionalism um, so easily. You can't wash it away, and it's even perhaps a message that Iran as a country, in its oppression of its people, will not be able to wash those sins away either.
Mhm.
So it's a very political film, very long, slow drama that I liked. Just felt it was a little too long.
Yeah. All right. I may not talk about this later in the podcast. So I only have like 2 points that I want to make. You said like the it's like the uh generational aspect where like the father and the mother and the kids have like different opinions, but actually the mothers turns around as well by the end of the films,
I don't think I agree. I mean, she's put
right?
into a similar position as her
See,
daughters because of
yeah, well,
her husband's
she
craziness.
become yeah, she kind of become a victim at the end, right?
Oh, she
So
definitely becomes a victim, but I don't think, like she still takes the view that women who go out in public uncovered are like whores. She holds on to that for I would say the entire movie.
all right. Yeah, another thing that I want to say is that there's just a lot of twists and turns in this film that like that change the direction of the films for me. So I just feel that there are like two particular twists that just like move it into like different point of view, and it actually kind of feel like different movie put together.
Hmm.
I don't say that it is in a bad way, because like the message is still the same. So that is kind of interesting for me.
Did you say you were going to talk about this film later?
Yeah. So
Okay. Well, maybe then you
I'm
can elaborate on what those
yeah.
two twists are.
All right. All right. So now on to my number tens.
Okay.
Uh, all right. My number 10 is Dream Sex Love by Dak Johan Hagerut.
Dream,
So
sex, love.
this yeah, so the title is Dreams, but because there are two dreams in uh within the year in the so it this one is airing in the Golden Bear Berlin Film
Berlin.
Festival
Yeah.
for this year, and but it actually released last year. I'm gonna tell you more about that. So there are two film named Dreams. So they have to like separate the two title by naming Dream Sex Love. So this is the late entry that I alluded to earlier. So I just watched it very recently. In 2024, the Norwegian directors make not only one but three drama about human relationship. Dreams is the second instrument. So the trilogy is Sex, Dreams, and Love.
Okay.
Uh, but internationally, it was the last one released because it just released in the Berlin Film Festivals earlier this year, where it's won the Golden Bear.
Hmm.
So this this is the story is about the unrequited affection from the student for that this student has for her female teachers. So she write about it, what she feel in a diary, and then she wrote it so well that when she showed it to her mom and her grandma, they think it should get published.
Hmm.
So it is the film that capture beautifully the feeling of falling in love for the first time, of sexual awakening. But it also very interesting how the adult female cast from her grandma, her mom, and eventually the teacher respond to what she wrote. Uh, the writing here, both in her own writing and the script writing, are personal, insightful, and just lovely overall. So I there is particular one scenes where like she wrote it, and then a year had passed. She showed it to her grandma because she said her grandma is more open-minded than her mom. The grandma who read that think that is very affectionate, but she says she gonna have to give that to the mom to read. And the first reaction when the mom read the whole thing was that is it kind of abuse, because it's still a relationship between a minor and the older adult. So is it like some kind of like you know the evidence of the abuse? So that's the first thing that go through her mind until she read the whole thing. So I just think that kind of very interesting as well. It's the perspective that, like, if we are into the mom's shoes, we would have think we would have thought about this as our first reaction as well. So very sensitive writing. I cannot wait to check out of his other two films.
So you said this is the second chronologically, but the third to receive a worldwide release.
Yeah, that's correct. So
So you,
the
but they're
the
not all. There's not
trilogy.
like a continuity between the three.
No, yeah, the trilogy is I think it's just connected in theme.
Okay.
The characters are all different, and the story are all different as well.
Okay. This was not on my radar at all.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't on my radar until like a month ago when I heard some really good feedback from many friends that I know.
Cool.
So I'm glad I check it out.
All right.
All right.
Okay. On to my number 9.
Yep.
It is so. This is one of the films. Like, I guess our eligibility rules or whatever are,
Yep.
since we record these annual best of lists in August. It's like for
Hmm.
the best of 2024, we're considering films that got a digital release between August 2023 and today.
Yep.
Wait, no. We're considering films that got a wait, hold up. We're considering films that got a digital release between, what are we considering? Okay, so any film that released in 2024 and also films from like the last 4 or 5 months of 2023. Is that right?
I I I would say that by the time of this time last year, if we haven't catch up anything, because some of the films still have released online, it's not available online yet.
Right.
We will make it eligible for this year.
Right. Yes, that's a better way of explaining it. Thank you. And that description applies to my number 9 film, which is Sing Sing.
Yep.
And that, which was a festival film in 2023 and may have even gotten like a limited theatrical release late in
Hmm.
2023. So really it is not a film from the year in question, 2024, but that's when I was able to get my hand. Well, I mean, I didn't watch it until just recently, but it became more
Yep.
broadly available to people in 2024. It's the story of the rehabilitation through the arts program at Sing Sing Prison in
Hmm.
New York.
Yep.
And what's really awesome about the film is that, apart from I think 3 or 4 actors, every other cast member is playing themselves. They were
Right.
formerly incarcerated at Sing Sing Prison, and they play themselves as people who were in real life involved in the RTA program, which I didn't learn until the end credits, as like images or scenes of the actors and the characters were replayed on screen, and then it would say person's name as themselves, and one after the
Mm.
other. Oh, so many members of this theater program. It would say so and so as themselves, so and so as themselves or himself,
Mm.
and I was like, my
Mm.
mind was blown. That there that so many of the actors in the film were, um, formerly in prison and had learned their craft as actors while behind bars. So
Yep.
it's just a very cool story. The story of the film also pretty cool. They're the two main characters, Divine G and Divine I, are like a mentor mentee. They have a mentor mentee sort of relationship, and also there's a twist in the film where essentially the student becomes the master. Very old trope, but generally very effective and often a lot of fun. Um, there's a the so Divine G, or Divine I. Hold up, which one is Divine? No, Divine G is okay. Divine G is the main character. Divine G is he's the mentor, and Divine I is the mentee. The breakthrough scene
Mhm.
for Divine I, where he finally is able to deliver a monologue in a way that satisfies his art teacher and all of his like cohorts, all of the other actors, because before that point he wasn't exactly living up to the hopes that they had for him. When he finally
Mhm.
has that breakthrough scene, everyone surrounds him and like gives him a pat on the back, gives him a hug, like gasses him up, daps him up. Um, but his reaction, he's like kind of basking in it and soaking in all the praise. But then he turns and says, "Where's Brent at?" Brent being the name of his white elderly theater teacher, who
Mhm.
comes to the prison to lead this program. And before that point in the film, he wasn't really having any of Brent's shit. Like he didn't want
Mhm.
anyone to put themselves in a position of authority above him.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
he wasn't like when Brent would try to instruct him or to talk to him or relate to him, he was like he rebuffed that. But then when he
Mhm.
finally has that breakthrough, he says, "Hey, where's Brent at?" Uh, and
Mhm.
he wants to see his teacher and get his approval, get his reaction, which I thought was an awesome scene.
Mhm.
The play that the I suppose inmates is the word. The play that the inmates put on is it makes no sense. Uh, it's a whole bunch of different scenes that are linked via time travel. So there's like scenes about pirates and scenes about ancient Egypt and scenes set in the future and all this stuff. And it's apparently based on a real play that was put on at Sing Sing through the RTA program. I don't. I would. You know. It's. You don't get to see the play in full. You get to see
Right.
them rehearsing it, so you don't quite understand how all these scenes are linked together, and you hear characters commenting on the fact that it doesn't make any sense. But there's a phrase, "trust the process," that is voiced over and over throughout the film, which it applies to more than just the process of rehearsing the play and eventually performing it. It also applies to the bond that the men form with one another. That's a
Mhm.
process as well. And you have
Yeah.
to trust your fellow actors, um,
Mhm.
for everything to come together. It's a very emotional movie because both Divine G and Divine I are trying to appeal their convictions, or rather their convictions are set in stone, but they appeal to a clemency board, so that they can be released early, for time
Mhm.
served and good behavior.
Mhm.
And Divine G, being the older man, has been going through this process for a long time and is frustrated with his lack of success. And Divine I, the younger man, despite his crimes being more serious, in fact, Divine G maintains that he's innocent. Divine I is a more hardened criminal, and yet he is able to secure his freedom first, which really frustrates and pisses off Divine G and strains their relationship. And of course, there are other, plot points throughout the movie that kind of bring the two men together, force them apart, bring them back together, etc. Um, but eventually, it gets to be opening night, and they put on the film or the play, and it goes over very well. Um, it's a film. It's a performance about performance. It's a film about theater, and it excels at that task, and it's a human drama as well, a very effective one. Um, I think the film's one weakness is that clemency plot, because Divine G helps Divine I to apply for clemency and to prepare for his hearing and everything, and that is
Mm,
mostly in the background until the film needs to use it in order to create drama between the two. And I wish there had been more
mm.
lead up to that, and that the clemency petition had been a bigger part of the story, I suppose. But at the same time, maybe that wasn't the film's aim, because it didn't want you to view them as prisoners. It wanted you to view them as actors and as men. Um, so I was kind of dissatisfied with that aspect of the film, but I think at the same time, I think it told the story that it wanted to tell in the way that it wanted to tell it. I was very entertained and moved as well. So, Sing Sing, number 9.
Very nice. Yeah, I think this one could be considered at 2024 as well, given that, like it got wider release in 2024, and even like the main actor Coleman Domingo, who nominated for best actor last year as well.
Mm.
Do you think that his performance is up there as the Oscar nominated
Should it have been
worthy?
Oscar nominated? I have no idea.
Yeah,
That's not really my
right.
call to make,
All right. Is it a really great performance from him?
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah. All
Like
right.
I don't know if it should have been nominated, or I don't think it's an Oscar winning performance.
Mhm.
But certainly it's very strong.
All right. Really nice. Shall we get to my number nine?
Let's do it.
My number nine is a little film from Georgia. It's called April from the director Dia Columbe Gasvili. It's a
Okay.
helpful there.
Did you say it's called
So
April?
yep, it's April. Yep.
Okay. Haven't heard of this.
All right. This is I already watched her debut features back in 2020 named Beginning. Amidst of the pandemic, I watched it and was totally impressed. So this one is, like I already have some kind of expectation to it. It's another worthy follow up. I bet I suspect even more divisive than the first. So this just go on the other spectrum compared to the to my number 10 film, because this one is a film that is challenging. It's sparse on dialogue and it demand our full attention. It
Hmm.
it makes sense why though, because of the topic this film addresses. The plot is about a local doctor in a rural Georgian town performs illegal abortions, not because of the financial gain, but because she thinks it's necessary and no one else step up to do it.
Hmm.
But it's not only the subject matter, but her storytelling that features very long, unbroken shots that go on and on and on. And I feel it is a limit test for viewers.
Oh,
It's,
when you
yep.
said that just now, I think I remember
Hmm.
reading like a snippet or a blurb or a review of this movie that
Right,
mentions how long the takes are. So
right.
I was aware of this movie. I don't know why maybe I was
Yep.
scared by
I
that comment, like the takes are too long. Uh, it
yeah.
definitely sounds like I missed out though. I should have watched this.
No, you all right. I can give you more detail actually, because you can get the idea of if you are is this film is for you after the first two sequences in the film, which take around I would say the first 10 minutes. The
Oh,
first
that's not
one
that
is
bad.
like the first one is like the 3-4 minutes long of unbroken shot of the rain. So just like you see the rain going on for 3-4 minutes,
One
and the
take,
second
just
one
rain.
is one take, just rain.
Yikes.
It's it did move, like the camera did move
Yeah.
from time to time, but it's just like one unbroken shot of the rain. And the second one is a full depiction of someone giving birth. So it's for you adult, you will know after that uh the 10 minutes.
Okay.
The rest of the movie powered light is what happened not on the frame but slightly off the frames where we like where we can hear the sound or where we view everything as a bystander to the story. So I think it's really a master class of how she make the movie. It's just we follow through all along. There is one film that I gonna discuss down the list that kind of having this approach, but I think this one is actually done this better. Uh, this film is a film that, for me, lingers. It will stay long for those who can stomach it. So, it's as my number nine, April.
Huh. Yeah, I feel like I probably should have watched this.
Uh,
Interesting.
yeah,
I
yeah. So
also
just
have
give.
a Georgian film somewhere in my top 10.
Oh, really? Wow.
Hmm. Half
Wow.
Georgian.
Right. Hmm. All
But
right.
we'll get there eventually.
What is your number eight? Yeah.
My number 8 may come as a bit of a surprise to you. It is Wicked.
Oh, yep. I didn't
Uh,
expect that.
so I did not know. I mean, obviously, I knew that Wicked, the musical, and it's based
Hmm.
on a book, um,
Oh, right.
which I didn't know until I watched this movie. But I knew what the plot was. I knew that the Wicked Witch of the West it was a prequel essentially to um, the Wizard of Oz, and the Wicked Witch of the West is one of the
Yeah.
main characters, and the Glinda, the good, is she the witch of the east or the north
Galinda.
or something like
Oh,
that?
have no idea. Yep.
She's also one of the main characters. So it's like a high school prequel essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I hadn't, seen the musical, and I didn't even know that it was based on a novel until I sat down to watch the film. And I will say it certainly has its weaknesses. Um, Not every part of the plot really works. Like there's a save
Mhm.
the animals plot that
Mhm.
man, I watched it a while ago, so I don't even remember how that it kind of ties into everything else. But there's like discrimination against talking animals in this universe, basically. Um,
Mhm.
and so that's how the film presents its own version of racism, basically. As well as
Mhm.
one of the
Mhm.
main characters being green skinned, but of course she's got her own story that she's got to work through. There's more broadly, though, there's the discrimination against the talking animals, including a professor who is voiced by what's the guy who did Tyrion Lannister in Game of Thrones? Peter Dinklage. Uh,
Oh,
so there's a professor who's a
right.
talking goat, and he's fired, and that whole thing kind of serves as a catalyst to engineer romantic interest between two characters who become passionate about this cause. It's very like I don't know. It didn't work for me at all. Uh,
Mhm.
but I will say, after I watched this movie, I kind of got obsessed with Wicked a little bit.
Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm.
Many times I watch a film and I'm like, even if it's a film I really enjoy, I'm like, wow, that was great, or that was powerful, or that was thought provoking. And then the next day I just go about my business, thinking
Mhm.
that was a great movie, but not like dedicating all of my mental attention to it. For Wicked, I really got swept up in the production, the enormity of the production, and all the musical numbers, and the set design, and the costumes, and the CG was even, I thought, really amazing. Uh,
Mhm.
Perhaps it won't age that well. Like in 15 years or 10 years, I'll be thinking, what was I smoking? But I was very
Mhm.
convinced by the production of this movie. And also, I was mesmerized by Ariana Grande as Glinda. Like, she is such a scene stealer in this movie. it's insane. Like how expressive her expressiveness with her eyes, her hands, like her posture when she's singing is spellbinding. In particular, there's one moment. I mean, you probably know, even if you haven't seen this movie or don't know much about Wicked, you probably know the song "Defying Gravity," or have at least heard the title. That's
Mhm.
like the trademark song of Wicked. It's the at the like if you go see the play, for example, there's an intermission, and right before the intermission is "Defying Gravity." It's like the song that uh, breaks the two main characters apart and sets the stage for the rest of the production. But so Defying Gravity was amazing. Like I watched it and I was like taken aback. Like I had tears forming in my eyes just because of how grandiose it was. But the song that really captured me was "What Is This Feeling," um, which is it's like the song that plays as the two girls, Elphaba and Galinda, are settling in to the high school, or I guess it's a college. It's a school at any rate. They're settling into the school. It's a boarding school, and they're roommates, and they hate each other's guts. And the song is called "What Is This Feeling?" And it's the answer, at least in the text of the song, the lyrics is loathing. They hate one another, but at the same time, you can tell from the lyrics and from the performance and the choreography and everything that they're curious about one another, and there may even be a little bit of an unspoken attraction between them, which I don't think the film makes a lot of. But I mean, perhaps it's just me reading between the lines a little too much. But I'm not alone in doing so if the internet is anything to go by. And that's I must have played that number from Wicked, not just the song but the scene, like 20 times. Rewatched it over and over. I was so captivated by it, by the melody, by the direction of it, the staging. Um, Really incredible. Uh, Perhaps my favorite scene of the year in movies. It's so good. I can hear it in my. I'm like smiling thinking about it right now. I can hear it in my head. I can see the characters' expressions as they're singing and as they're like dancing and striding and doing all their business. Um, so it's just like it's pure spectacle, really. But I was very impressed by it, taken aback by it, and briefly became obsessed with it. So for that, I give it the number 8 spot.
And one good thing about Wicked is that we got the second part coming this year as well.
Yes,
So
in just a few months, I'm very much looking forward to it. I'll probably go
yeah.
by myself to the theater because I don't imagine that I know anybody who will be interested. Uh, but I'll be there.
As low.
Uh,
See if
Probably
he
not.
is up for that. All
There
right.
is a film I'm interested in messaging him about and saying, hey, do you want to go see it with me? It's Hyaku Emu. It's an anime film about
So cool.
running, like track and field.
Oh, right.
I
I
don't think
think the
it's not the director of Ongaku. I don't think. I think he's producing it rather than directing it. Although I could be wrong. Maybe he is directing it.
right. I think the English title is like 100 meters.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
Right.
Hyaku in Japanese means 100, so it's
Right.
probably a literal translation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that
All
movie.
right.
That's a 2025
Yep.
feature, or 20. I guess
Mm-hmm.
maybe it'll be 2024. No, it'll be eligible
2020.
next year.
Yeah,
I'm
that will
deciding.
be 2025. Yep, I watched Wicked a while ago as well, and I enjoy it throughout. But unlike you, I don't think I think back about it this much. But this is one of the feature that I know that whenever I pop up, like I pop up on TV, I just gonna enjoy watching it over and over when it really have this like rewatchable quality.
Hmm. I haven't even rewatched it except for like a couple of the musical numbers. Those scenes. I haven't like rewatched the film.
Hmm.
Just select portions of it.
Hmm.
Interesting. to
Right.
hear that
Interesting.
even though you're not a major fan of it, you still find the film rewatchable. Have you seen it more than once, or is that just a feeling you got?
That's the feeling I got. So I'm happy to watch it again. And I think it just have that quality, like the all the musical sequences that like really rewatchable as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I hope so because I'll probably watch it again before I go and see Wicked for Good, the sequel, which, as you said, is coming out later this year.
yeah. All right, now to my number eight. Which I suspect that Wooper might have this down on his list later on as well. It is a new feature from my league of it's called Hard Truths.
It's called what?
So Hard
Hard
Truths.
Truths. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So my list for me is a very consistent directors in the sense that there isn't a bad one out of all the films that I've watched from him so far. Uh, it's a bit of a curious case about these films, and even the one before that, named Waterloo. He's a winner of for Cannes and Venice before for Cannes with his 1996 Secret and Lies, uh, and for Venice in 2004 Vera Drake. This film reportedly get rejected by both Cannes and Venice, but I still cannot understand why. Because Hard Truth is another powerful drama that is at times hilarious, at times hiding, and it has like full of small moments and captivating performances all around the board. It also features one of the most unhinged characters that you will see this year or any given year, played superbly by Marianne John Baptiste. She's the kind of person that you don't want to hang around in real life.
Or
Yet
even
in the
meat.
films, yeah, or even meet. But yet in the film you can't help but like feel for her at the end. I did feel for her a lot, like during the last 30 minutes of the film. The scenes in the gathering where the two sisters embrace and the younger sister just said, like, I don't understand you, but I love you. It just feels very raw and very, very real as well. Uh, I just feel that it's real people in real life that we are seeing here on screen. If I have a minor observation to his style, and it's not necessarily in the bad way, is that his films are often just end like when it begins. So the characters in his film don't necessarily grow. As we just see a slide of their life, and then life move on. The credit rolls, just
Yeah.
think back to normal again. But I can say that I really enjoy spending time with these people there. Not sure,
Interesting.
yeah, not sure about the way that uh, uh, she treat her husband at the end. Like there's still a tension going on in there, but I really hope that they can manage to find some resolution for their conflict.
What the appropriate resolution may be divorce.
Well, I just say that she's all she need to do is just like walk down the stair and maybe just talk to him, just see him.
Well, he starts off as a very sympathetic character, having to deal with, uh, his very angry
Yeah,
wife.
yeah,
But as the film goes on, you eventually learn he's not innocent at all in their strained marriage.
hmm. All right. Can you tell me
You
more
remember
about
the
it?
scene where he throws out the
Yep,
flowers that his
yep,
son has given to
yep.
his mother?
Oh, that's really bad, right?
That I
Yep,
mean, that really speaks to some bitterness, like some ugliness in his
yep.
heart.
Mm, mm. Yep, I agree. Yep, I think that was a great scene as well. Like you see another aspect of their relationship. Uh, you see, yeah, you see the bitterness from like they have for each other. Uh, even though like the day after when he got his back injuries, the first one that uh he want to notify is the wife. So
Yeah.
you know,
All right. Well, should I tell you right away whether or not this is on my list, or keep it a secret as we move forward? What do you think?
uh, just go with it, man.
Just just go forward.
Yeah, just yeah, you can tell me. You can tell me if it's
Oh,
in your top 10 or not.
it is not.
All right. Hmm.
Personally, I found you already spoke about. Apparently, this is a characteristic of Mike Leigh's filmmaking is that his
Right.
films kind of just end.
Yeah.
This is the first film of his that I saw, and I was kind of put off by
All right.
the abruptness of the conclusion.
Right. Right. Hmm. I can
You know,
see. I can see that.
I wanted to spend a little more time with the main character because, well, I mean, if it's his style that his characters don't necessarily change, then that's his style. I guess there's nothing I can really do about that. But
Hmm.
she, I don't know. I felt like there was a breakthrough waiting to happen um,
Right.
for her character, based
Yeah.
on the way that she cried at the family gathering.
Yeah.
But we didn't get to see it. You know,
Right. Hmm.
we learned was that something was there under the surface.
Yeah.
Um, Not to see that take a more concrete shape was disappointing to me.
Yeah. If you watch his Secret and Lies, which is still like many consider that his best back in 1996. That one won the Cannes Film Festival and was nominated for Best Picture of that year, Oscar Best Picture of that year. Um, Mar- Marianne Jean Baptiste played the younger role there, and she also very brilliant in that. A very different
Oh,
type of characters.
so she's a an actress that Mike Lee has worked with before. You're saying
Yep. And
interesting.
she had never been, like everyone know her on that role. She had never really been, like a breakthrough since then. But this one, when she get back, she just, like a major storm. Just,
Yeah.
so and my list is no stranger to create like these memorable characters like in before he make a movie called Happy Go Lucky about like a characters who is very happy and like doesn't really take everything that seriously, and everyone around her just like really stressed about life, about things, and been like taken by her attitude. So it just like he's the one who can drive a different type of characters and all feel very realistic.
Hmm. Okay.
All right.
That's a good pick. Uh, the film ended up not really being
Yeah.
for me, but
Yeah.
it was definitely a unique like film watching experience. Hadn't seen a character like that. Hadn't been exposed to a character like that in a main role before, I don't think.
Right. Oh,
Um,
see, just a
so I
ticking
guess
bomb.
I'll yeah.
She can explode every time. Oh my god! It just really I really enjoy seeing her. Like getting just yuck up at everyone around her.
She scared me.
All right, you you
Let
can go
me
next.
do my number 7.
Yep, let's do that.
It is Conclave,
Oh, Conclave. Yep.
the Catholic, you know, crown the Pope drama. I found that this film had a 12 Angry Men sort of appeal to it,
Right.
with the multiple rounds of voting and the you know, the intrigue over what the eventual verdict would be, and the like alliances and the strategizing, the voting blocks that formed, you know, between different parties, I suppose, within the highest realm of the highest echelon of the Catholic Church. Um, I was very intrigued and entertained, I think, by the way that the story unfolded. I mean, talk about twists. This film
Mm.
definitely had some.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed seeing all the Catholic like iconography. You know, the outfits, the braided cords that Ray Fiennes' character wore around his neck, and the way that they like slid their votes into that little chalice or whatever, and then
Mm.
based on the result, they would put the canister of smoke
Yeah.
in the smokestack, and all the people gathered outside the Sistine Chapel would be like, "Oh, they haven't decided yet." I was just very I was kind of swept up in how I don't know, mythological it was.
Mm.
Um, all the
Old fashioned
murals and the
even, you know?
what's that?
Old fashioned even, you know?
Yeah, definitely carrying on like centuries and I don't know, millennia
Yeah,
of tradition.
yeah. True.
Um, yeah, I mean, for all of its failings and very public scandals, the Catholic Church definitely has, maintained its power and
Mm.
continued to hold the interest and the imagination and the fascination of you know millions and I don't know, perhaps billions of
Mm.
people.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I really like the soundtrack. You know, the stabbing strings that would play at dramatic moments, and the use of the glass harmonica, not
Mm.
harmonica, but harmonica. I had to do a pretty lengthy Google search to figure out the name of the instrument, but it has a very like I don't know, calming, sort of transcendent, angelic quality to it. It's like glass being spun really fast and hit, and the vibrations give off like a. It forms a very nice contrast with the harsher string instruments, um, which kind of fits the film because it is about the tension between the worldly process by which the new pope is crowned, with all the backstabbing and the scheming and the jockeying for position and all that. There's that on the one hand, I think, which is represented by those harsh, very tense string notes, and then on the other hand, there is the holy purpose to which all these people are called, represented by the harmonica. So I like that dichotomy a lot. The final twist, the much talked about twist
Hmm.
with Cardinal Benitez being intersex.
Yeah.
I read a lot of opinions many times. Usually, I mean, my general practice when I watch a movie is I don't look into it very much. I
Hmm.
like check letterbox scores and check awards that were given at festivals or whatever to get a list of films that I might like to watch. And then after I've got that list together, I pretty much forget about all of that and I just watch the films and form
Hmm.
my opinion about them as independently as I can. But for this film, I was very curious about the reaction to it, of course, because of the religious and political ramifications it might have had in the wider world. So I read a lot of opinions about the twist of Benitez being intersex, and
But they
I
say,
I don't know. I found that most people, like some people were upset about it, others were okay with it. Some were. There was just a wide range of opinions, and I
hmm,
fell somewhere in the middle. I think
yeah.
I thought it was fine. I wasn't amazed,
Hmm.
and neither was I. Turned away. I was just like, okay, so that kind of it's going to leave us with that kind of message. But it's fitting, because the contingent of the Catholic Church that we're following for the majority of the film, with Ray Fiennes' character, Stanley Tucci's character, kind of being at the center of it, is the more liberal, more progressive wing of the Catholic Church. So
Hmm.
that it would have this message to leave us with at the end, kind of fits, I think.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, I just really enjoyed the presentation of it, the multiple rounds of voting, the question of whether Cardinal Lawrence, Ray Fiennes' character, whether he truly had no papal ambitions or
Hmm.
whether he was like an unreliable narrator, and he was actually angling for the papacy.
Hmm.
That question was, I think, neatly teased by
Hmm.
the movie. I really enjoyed that, and it's just a good prestige drama.
Yeah.
Sometimes those sorts of films are not to my liking, and sometimes they are. And in Conclave's case, it was.
Yeah. I really enjoy the fact that this Cardinal Lawrence, played by Raffinis,
You say
like,
it, you pronounce it. I don't know why you pronounce it this way, but his name is pronounced Ray Fine.
oh yeah,
I
refined.
know it doesn't look at all like
All
that.
right.
I don't understand it, but that's how you say
All right,
it.
cool. I will talk about his character then. I remember like at one round of voting, he actually did vote for himself, and I really like
Yes.
that ambiguity because he also like he keep remaining as a like the one who overrun this voting, and he didn't really insert himself to become a serious like candidate, but at one point he also did consider himself, so it just yeah, it just sip in, and I really like that. And as for the final twist, I think I on the same uh opinion with you. Like I don't really mind it one way or another. Like I think it's a nice twist. I don't think it was supposed to be like a uh controversial thing that like that will rank up the uh the people who watch it. It just I don't feel really strongly one way or the other. I think it's a fine twist, and I just leave it at that.
Well, I mean, I have to assume that whoever wrote the film knew that it would cause
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
controversy.
I agree. Yes.
That was destined to happen. Um, I just I don't know. I'm not Catholic, so
Yeah.
I mean, if I were
Me too.
Catholic, maybe I would feel differently.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
because as far as I understand it, the Catholic Church holds that anyone with like female typical like anyone with female reproductive organs or reproductive organs that are thought to be female. I
Mm.
sometimes I don't know what language to use when talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
uh, like a person with a uterus
Yeah.
is, according to Catholic dogma, I guess, is female, like full stop.
Right.
Um, as far as I understand it. So the Catholic Church would view Benitez as a woman, despite him having been born a man and having male sex organs and identifying as a man. Uh, I so I mean the controversy was just waiting to
Oh,
happen,
yeah.
which I get, um, and it kind of adds a little bit of flavor to the movie. I think it's not for me. It's not like so spicy that it ruins the dish. It's
Mhm.
like it's like a after dinner mint.
Yeah.
It just kind of
Yeah.
you have it at the end, and it's a little bit of a different flavor.
All right. Unrelated, but because since you mentioned about the dogma, uh, do you remember the dogma 95
Yeah.
from the
Yes.
Danish
Lars von
directors?
Trier.
Yeah. They actually have like a new movement called Dogma 25 now, which was announced at the 2025 Cannes Film Festivals, and they have like
Oh, brother.
yeah, and they have like some of the Danish filmmakers already signed up for that Dogma 25. They have some of the rules coming in, so like in maybe if we're lucky this year or the next few years, we can see some of the film from that movement coming out. Do you want me to go through some of the rules that they make for the Dogma
No.
25?
No. I mean, we're already going to run long, I think, on this
Yeah,
episode.
yeah. But yeah, what this space just they gonna check out. They gonna have more of this movement coming out. So like we gonna having a look at that.
Oh boy, okay.
All right, let's go to my number seven then. My number seven
Okay.
is also the one that I think that would feature in your list. This one you welcome to just keep it a secret until you
Okay.
announce it. That would be Nickel Boys.
Okay.
So Nickel Boys is a film that nominated for Best Pictures Oscar last year, and currently is the number one film in the wire, not only for the year 2024 but for the whole decade so far. So personally, I don't think it's an instant classics or anything, but at the end, I still feel it's a very compelling, and powerful movie. So most of the talk is about its first-person narrative, where it's told from the point of view of the main characters. I feel that I can understand why the creators go there. Yet at times, I think that the old-fashioned approach would have worked better. For example, by employing this approach, we get to be in the main character's shoes, see what he sees, and feel what he feels. But and furthermore, it creates a twist in narrative that I feel is well done at the end. But it also feels that he's an insert characters at time, and there are many events that we don't get to see firsthand because we are stuck in his point of view. Like, for example, when the school plans to kill the main characters at the end, we don't know about that. But we hear from the other main character talk to him that, I just heard that they're gonna kill you by tonight or to the day after, so we're gonna have to run tonight. So like it kind of feel a bit disconnected by that. Also, if they go for the normal approach, I would feel that the performances of the two boys would have been more recognized, as they are pretty solid from the little screen time we actually see them, like talking to each other, or in fact, it's not the cinematography, but the editing that I feel is superb. It flows freely from what he see to the Apollo to like everything, but we see like a stream of consciousness from him, and it just go back and forth without losing the rhythm. I feel the ending works very well here. The it provide a really good twist, and it make you really think about like what happened, all the events that come before that. The author of the book also wrote the Underground Railroad, which I the miniseries that sorry been adapted to the miniseries, and I am now very excited to check it out.
So this exact same material is going to be adapted as a miniseries.
No, 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 no. So, you heard about the Underground Railroad? It's like one of the novels that this author wrote as well. That won the
I've already there already is an Underground Railroad miniseries. I've seen
yep,
several
yep, yep, yep,
episodes of it.
yep, 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 yep. So, which I mean, I haven't checked it out, so I wanted to check it
Oh,
out because
okay,
it comes from the same author who wrote both of these.
gotcha. Yeah, I've seen maybe 3 or 4 episodes of the Underground Railroad.
Oh, you haven't
It's
finished it,
pretty. It's interesting.
right?
It's
Hmm.
it's kind of surreal.
Yeah,
There's a little bit of horror to it. Maybe suspense is a better word.
yeah.
Um, it's cool.
Hmm. Hmm. All right.
Okay. Um, so I'm keeping a secret whether Nickel Boys is
Yeah,
somewhere on my list.
yeah.
All right. I guess that means we jump straight to my number 6.
All right. Let's do that.
This is a film you've already heard me talk about because it is an anime film, and we have
Oh,
our other podcast where we talk about anime. This is
yep,
Totto-chan, the little girl at the window,
yep,
or Madogiwa no Totto-chan.
yep.
Um, so I mean, it's been a while since I've seen this movie, almost a year, I guess. My recollection of the details of it is not that strong, but I do have tons of notes about it that I took shortly after watching it here in front of me, so
Mm,
I can rely on those, I guess. It's based on an autobiography written by Tetsuko Kuroyanagi, who is the main character, Toto-chan. That's her nickname. Um, and it's a film that focuses on education, which is a big part of why it was, so impactful and so interesting to me. It takes place during World War II, shortly before, or I guess during. It's all during. It takes place during World War II. Um, Toto-chan, she grows up in a family that's very accepting of Western values. Like their house is very Western looking. The way she dresses, very Western, and it deals with Japan's shift away from those sorts of values and towards a more conservative and nationalistic stance. As they become embroiled in the Second World War, and how she finds refuge at a school for the differently abled, I suppose. Um, at the end of the film, the school is destroyed, and I think a firebombing. And there's a magnificent shot, I would say, of the principal of the school standing. I don't think it's meant to be taken literally, but he stands at a distance from the school burning behind him
Hmm.
and faces the camera and says, "So, what kind of school shall we build next?" Which I think was an amazing scene, like in the face of his dream school, where he's found against all odds a way to connect with the children who are kind of left behind by
Hmm.
Japanese society. Um, he takes in stride the destruction of that holy space that he created, and looks to the future and says, "What shall we build next?"
Hmm.
Um, so that's definitely an amazing scene. Other scenes that I think are great are the many fantasy sequences, because Totto-chan is, she's kind of a hyperactive, easily distracted child, and so her imaginings are visualized as fantasy sequences, animated in a different style. There's one where she goes underwater, and the most gorgeous uh, arrangement of choral vocals and bells and harps play as she and her friends swim with the sea creatures and are transformed into sea creatures. And there are plenty of other fantasy sequences too. That's my favorite. There's a Singing in the Rain inspired one, between her and a boy named Yasuaki who has polio, and he is, despite being a secondary character in the film, his struggle, like the enormity of his struggle just to do something as simple as climb a tree, is so powerfully drawn. Really, I'm amazed by the animation, and by like Totto-chan's character, the way that she supports him and befriends him, even though he's the sort of person who a lot of typical children might not want to be friends with. Um, It's just, a very powerful movie in my view. Honestly, probably a top five film of the year for me, but I kind of made the decision to put it at six because I've already talked about it before. So I'm going to stop here, actually. If you want to hear me talk about it at length, not just me, but both Mario and myself, if you want to hear us talk about it at length, you can check out our sister podcast, I suppose, Double Cross Anime. It's
Hmm.
one of the more recent episodes. You'll see. I think the word Totto-chan is in the title of that episode. It's just very moving, very creatively drawn, and also true to life, which I think is a bonus. So definitely my favorite animated film
Yeah.
of the year. So that means
We
no Flow, no Wild Robot, anywhere higher on my list.
yeah.
Totto-chan
We
at number six.
yeah. We also talked about that briefly in the top anime films of the decade so far. So
Yes, that was one of my picks. My
yeah,
number two pick, if I remember correctly.
yeah. So you can hear more about that as well in that channels. All right.
Yep.
Let's go to my number six then.
Okay.
My number six is I'm Still Here, the Brazilian film by Walter Silas. So this is the
Yes, I
only.
watched this just like 2 days ago.
All right, this is the only film based on real events on my list. Hint, hint. This film chronicles the adoption and the forced disappearance of Ruben Paiva, a political activist. But it's also much more about the family, especially his wife, who has to deal with the consequences. there is a little fun fact that I want to talk about. Is that this movie is based on the memoir written by the son, Marcelo Rubens Paiva, the only son in the family that we see in the film a couple of times. So you
Yeah.
can see that when they pick up the when they receive the death certificate, he's already in the wheelchair. He actually wrote the first novel called Feliz Año Nuevo, which means Happy Old Years, about the event in which he dived into the shallow pool and became paralyzed, which turned into the feature films in 1989. So I really want to check that film out to see.
Yeah. Yeah, me
Or
too.
yeah, so just and it also kind of like a reference. uh, as we also have another film this year that have like the character just like dive into the pool and dies. I'm not sure if
Yes.
it would be
Yes. I
in
know which one you're talking about.
yeah, I don't know if it would be in our list later on, but just worth mentioning is in Kind of Kindness, by the way.
Right.
All right, so
Yorgos.
yeah, back to this film. I just feel that this film is about the resilience, the courage of moving forward after everything, uh, all the bad thing that happened to the families. Uh, Eunice Pava, the wife, who was in prison for 12 days, had to go through hell, but her determination still passed on. So it's just a powerful film precisely because the film refused to go overblow. Instead, it used the passage of time to show her courage and determination. The scene, like at the end where she, like where she become, like where she don't remember anything at all. But when she heard the news, she seemed to recognize her late husband and everything.
Hmm.
It's just so powerful and just what a performance from the lead actress. She's just uh Fernanda Torres. She's just amazing
Right.
in the films. So yep,
Yeah. Dude, the age makeup on her
yep,
in the second time skip when
right,
she's supposed to be like 90 years old or something, and there's that scene where she sees Rubens on the TV, and she like her eyes kind of
all
her
right,
eyes don't even necessarily widen so much as like her vision sharpens, and
yeah,
she kind of leans forward.
all right.
Is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, no, no. So it's actually not her who uh
You're kidding me.
yeah, it's her mother actually who played that
Are
role,
you serious?
and her mother is actually a more famous name than her. So she actually was nominated for the Oscar like 30 years back, 20 years back, and
Wow.
now her daughter just just passing, just taking the torch. So yeah, that's her
So
mom.
that was Fernanda Torres's mother
Yeah,
in that
y- yeah,
like in the final scene.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Fernandez
Very very cool.
Torres' mother is named Fernandez as well. Let me look up for the name. Fernanda Montenegro
Okay.
is the name of the mother. So yeah,
Hmm.
pretty cool.
All right. Anything else to say about
No, I think it's
I'm
just a
still here?
powerful film. Yeah, no,
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see. Now we're waiting on Nickel Boys to appear and potentially I'm Still Here to appear as well. We'll
yeah.
we'll find out.
All right,
So we're
we get to the second part of our list. So
right,
the
the
first
top
half,
5.
yeah, the top five.
So I'll tell you, my number 5 is neither I'm Still Here nor Nickel Boys. It is
Oh,
Black Dog.
wow, right, the Chinese
This
one.
is a yes Chinese film by Guan Hu.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. And starring Eddie Peng, who I found to be, you know, his performance kind of reminded me of Perfect Days,
hmm.
because in Perfect Days the central male character also hardly speaks,
Yeah,
um, and in this film, um, Lang played by Eddie Pang. Also, he barely says maybe 25 or 30 words um, throughout the whole film. He's an ex-con,
Yeah.
convicted for manslaughter, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, and the nature of his crime, like we slowly garner details about it from the conflict between him and Butcher who is like a leader in the community of Lang's hometown, to which he returns after he's let out of prison. So
Mhm.
as the conflict between the two of them escalates, we learn a little bit more about the crime that he was involved in, but we don't ever get all the details,
Mhm.
which is interesting to me because it allows you to view him as I don't know, either guilty or innocent, I suppose, or perhaps the film is making a point that um, he's like the part of the plot of this movie is his rehabilitation. So whether or not he killed this other man or was involved in his death in some way, um, over the course of the film, he undergoes something of a transformation. So perhaps his guilt or innocence is not the question. Um, I think this is a film I would have connected to a lot more if I were from a Chinese small town
Mhm.
pre Beijing Olympics.
Right.
Because the film is basically, its message, I think, is about like Chinese modernization. The Beijing Olympics in 2008 were the culmination, I think, of a modernization movement that was happening in China leading up to that point, because the eyes of the world were going to be on them. And the film is just about people who are left behind in a country's efforts to modernize itself. People who living on the fringes, and that's where this film is set. It's set on the fringe of the Gobi Desert in
Mhm.
northern China. I don't think we get the name of the town. I don't even know if it's supposed to be based on a. I don't know if it's supposed to be a real place. Surely it's based on real, towns and smaller cities like that exist like this in China or existed past tense
Mhm.
before they were transformed into whatever shape they currently take. Um, and there's the big metaphor of the dogs. Uh, there are tons of stray dogs in this town, and Lang is recruited into an effort to try to like capture them and get them out of the city, get them out of the town, um, in order to aid the development of the town, the transformation of it into a place where business can be done, and I don't know, a different sort of people will move in, like businessmen and whatever else, as opposed to circus performers and butchers and snake venom collectors and the
Mhm.
more eclectic blend of people who currently populate it.
Mhm.
Really, I thought the dog trainers they must have gotten the best dog trainers in the world to work on
Mhm.
this movie because there are so many dogs. I mean, there are shots where there are literally 100 dogs,
Right.
all of whom are standing almost perfectly still. There's that one scene where Lang's character is driving his dog, the black dog of the film's title. He's driving him home after he's been injured, and he's driving him through the desert. And there's a scene where he's like a whole pack of wild dogs are standing in his way. Essentially, he gets off the motorcycle and rather than ride it across using the engine, he pushes it across, almost as a sign of like respect.
Mhm.
Um, and perhaps like a mea culpa, an apology, because he was part of the effort to evict these dogs from the town. And that's why they're living in the desert now. So he gets off of his like man-made machine and uses his body instead to push the motorcycle through the like congregation of dogs. It's really interesting. There's so much visual interest to this scene. There's so many wide shots of the desert, of ruined buildings, both interior and exterior. The camera is very still. It moves. It pans very slowly. It's a really beautiful looking film. Maybe one of the best looking of the year, in my opinion, at least of the 50 or so that I watched.
Mm,
Um, and everything that all the characters that Lang meets, his relationship with his father, the friendship that he strikes up with a woman named Grape. I
mm,
assume that's just a translation rather than her literal name.
mm,
um, is there's so much of the film that's like slightly humorous, slightly tragic, um, and I mean the main relationship between Lang and his dog is so heartwarming. The fact that it ends with him taking the dog's puppy,
mm.
his son, I suppose, on a trip. He hits the road and drives off. Is there's it's a very fun ending, an optimistic ending, I suppose. Lots of great scenes, man. The scene where Pink Floyd is playing as all the animals that have been freed from the zoo are roaming the town, as all the humans have left to go take a look at the eclipse, is so symbolic of the fact that like the animals are standing in essentially for the people whose town is being transformed and who are being left behind, while they go off to look at the eclipse, which is kind of meant to usher in a new era in Chinese history, I suppose. Like China has arrived on the world stage, basically. I think that's what the eclipse is meant to symbolize.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I'll stop there. I guess this is a film that I could really study. I think for a long time, uh, both the way it's shot and the meaning behind it. So for that, it's in my top five.
Yeah. All right. I haven't got a chance to watch it yet.
Oh,
Yeah, one little fact
I
that
would definitely recommend this.
yeah, I think I will check it out. One little fun fact that I find it though is that the main actor who played the main characters,
Hmm.
he actually adopted the dog after the filming because
Yes.
he have such a strong bond with the dog. So
Yeah.
good ending in general.
Yeah. Good real life ending
Yeah,
after the camera stopped rolling.
very nice. All right, I guess I will go to my number five.
Okay.
Uh, it's from my one of my all-time favorite directors, Pedro Almodovar. So the film is The Room Next Door.
Okay.
So
Yes. I haven't seen this.
you haven't? All right. I thought
No.
you have. All right. He's my go-to directors when it comes to film with strong female cast because he just love his woman. Uh, I was
Is
a bit
he the women
yeah,
on the edge of a nervous breakdown guy?
yep, he's the one.
Okay.
Uh, I was a bit nervous with this one because there could be a loss in translation with foreign directors who want to make a movie in English. But I'm happy to report that this film is another worthy addition to his canon, and it hold my interest throughout. Although I don't think it's his very best. The whole story is between the relationship between the two women as one of them just have a terminal cancer. The whole story is very rich, challenging, and but ultimately rewarding. Right, the story itself could very well be as a play because they only like two main characters and they talk for the whole movies. But they play by Tilda Swinton and Julian Moore. Uh, and we see there how their relationship progress and there's more drama then more challenges coming along the way and also about facing our own mortality but it also about like just the complex relationship between them in general. I don't want to spoil. I have my favorite scenes but I don't want to spoil it since you haven't watched it. But uh, let's just say that the one of the characters who go through the motion, the emotional where she see the side that the others tell her that it feel very raw and intense. It is actually my favorite scene. It's just like in the middle of the scene, not at the end. Um there is a character played by John Turturro. It's the
Okay.
male characters, and I'm not sure if his characters add anything at all to the narrative. Overall, though, I thoroughly enjoy this movie. It's a very talky movie, but it's just explore everything that we Almodovar, does its best. So it's my number five film of the year, The Room Next Door.
Okay. Yeah, I when I was making my list of films that I was going to watch, in preparation for this discussion, this wasn't on it.
Mm,
Probably because I would rather start with his, more,
mm,
with his earlier and more like acclaimed and more famous work,
yeah, all right.
rather than working backwards. But
I
certainly like a major figure in modern cinema.
Yeah, I watched I think I watched almost all of the films, especially for some of the film in the 90s. Yeah, really love this guy. Really love the way he write the characters, the female characters.
Well, it's a good thing you enjoyed this because I remember you saying that you didn't really dig the new Wes Anderson.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's good that, one of your other favorite
Oh,
directors did manage to pull through.
yeah. Well, this time next year when we do the film in 2025, I will have a take a look at the new Wes Anderson films, and maybe it would crack my top 10 again. So we will see.
It already eligible for this year?
No, not this year. That would be in 2025, right? Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, 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 I'm sorry.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. All right.
All right.
I'll move on to my number four, I
Yeah.
guess.
Let's go.
Okay. The first film we share. My number four pick is I'm Still Here.
Right. Mm,
Um, just watched this a couple days ago, and I was amazed by Fernanda Torres's performance.
right.
Decided to roll my R there. I don't know how it came out. Apologies to any Portuguese speakers
Oh,
listening to this.
you did well. Better than
Well,
me.
I took a little Spanish in school, so not the same language, but
Mm,
parts of it kind of translate. Um, yeah, I will. What's great about this film, in my opinion, is the fact that the first 30 minutes are like pure, a pure like celebration of their family and their extended like, community of friends.
mm,
Um, like we see them at the beach. We see them like having parties, hosting parties at each other's homes. We see all the way that all the siblings interact with one another, and that, of course, while there are five siblings in a family, and that's going to cause some stress.
mm,
Uh, they also have a lot of love for one another, and both parents clearly care about their children, and they have a strong support network of other families who live nearby and who also have kids and who they it's like a really joyful movie
mm.
for in the first act, and then the other shoe drops.
Yeah.
Without that first 30 minutes or so, then it wouldn't be as devastating when
Yeah.
Rubens is
Yeah.
kidnapped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I feel like every part of this movie is essential to it. The
Yeah.
beginning, the dread, and the horror and the anxiety of his abduction, and eventually Eunice's abduction, as well as I think Lucia's, the second daughter,
Yeah. Yeah.
because the oldest daughter is in England. I think she's overseas. She's definitely in England now that I think about it, because we see a video, like a video reel that she sent through the mail to her family in Brazil, and you see her walking across the crossing at Abbey Road on the cover of that Beatles album. Um, yeah, so she's in England, but the man, it's so like her composure is what's amazing about her character, because like when Rubens is forcibly disappeared And what I wrote down the character's name. There's a character in this film played by an actor named Luis Bertazzo or Bertazzo, who he's the guy with like the mustache and the really dark hair and the really like intense eyes.
Mm,
He's the one who kind of like controls everything that's going on in their home once the men arrive to take Rubens away. Um, he's kind of in charge, and he calls himself a parapsychiatrist, and he is so menacing
mm,
in that role. I don't think this movie would be the same without him,
yeah.
uh, because the fact that he is so intense and like his presence casts such a foreboding shadow over the second act. It makes the main character's concern for her husband, for her family, that much more pressing. So really liked what he added to the movie. Um, all of the performances of the kids are great. I really liked that the two youngest children.
Mm,
The truth is hidden from them, but I mean that's a decision that Eunice makes, that she's not going to tell them what's happening.
mm,
So I liked that the film revisited their characters and recontextualized them in the two flash forwards. One set 25 years after Rubin's abduction in 1970, and one in the 2010s. Um, those two siblings, Marcello, who you already mentioned, and what was the girl's name? It started with a B, right?
uh,
It
yep.
was it
Yep.
was Babu or something. Babu is what her mother calls her. It might be like a pet name. I don't know if that's her legal name. But the two of them are the most prominent siblings in those flash forwards,
Mm,
so I think the film made a great decision to give them more prominence in those scenes after they had the least to do in in its present day in
mm,
1970 and 1971.
yep.
Um, just a very impressive movie. It's based on a true story, and that true story is incredible,
Mm,
and the film is incredible as well, both because of that and separately from it. Um, and yeah, it's I mean, imagine campaigning for your government to acknowledge your husband's death,
right.
and it takes them 25 years, and
Yeah.
when you finally get that death certificate, that's like a major breakthrough in your life.
Yeah.
Just
Just
imagine
just a
what it would
relief.
be. Yeah, I, I can't, dude. I can't even fathom
Yeah.
what that family went through and what Eunice went through, what she endured, and how. I mean, the film could have focused more on her activism, like the fact that she went back to law school and
Mm,
was a human rights advocate and
yeah.
became an expert in like indigenous peoples and like the way that governments deal with them, the legality of those sorts of situations. Um, it could have focused more on that, but instead it focused on her and her protection of her family and the family itself. There's that scene where a tabloid is doing a profile on her family because they want to get a picture of their family without Rubens in it in the
Mm,
press
mm.
to signal that he
Ah, yeah.
has,
Yep. 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 Yep.
he's gone. And the direction that is given to the photographer is no smiling. Make it
Right.
sad, make it somber. But she refuses.
Mm,
She instructs all of her children to smile.
yeah.
Like what strength of character it must take.
Yeah.
You must want to give in and
Mm,
like show the world how much you're hurting
yeah.
and not smile in that film. But instead uh, she resists that urge and says smile, and the film repeats that message, smile, um, particularly in the third act, the final scene set in the
Mm,
2010s
yeah.
when they're having that family reunion. And the very last shot of the film is everyone in frame together taking a family photo. And somebody says, smile.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I think the scene get me the most is the one that they decided to move out of the house. So
Yeah.
like it's the last day. It's like the day where they have to move, and like some of the kids just like looking back. I think it's like the youngest daughter who like just just looking inside the house because I think she was born in that house, so she cannot believe that she had to leave for good. You know, it's just so heartbreaking and it just feels so real. And like you said, without the first 30 minutes of like establishing the life that they used to have, we, that scene doesn't come as powerful, so like
Yeah.
everything just work so well together.
Yeah. Uh, an amazing movie.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. All right, I guess I'm gonna go to my number four.
Okay.
This one, I'm pretty sure that it's not on your list because you have already mentioned before. It's not. It wasn't on the list. It is All We Imagine as Light by
Okay.
Paya
Interesting.
Kapadia. Yeah. It's another film on my list that are woman focused. So this film debuts at Cannes, and the reviews have been glowing ever since. It's such an intimate story about two nurses in Mumbai. I love a lot of things about this movie. The focus on women and their conditions, especially towards romance and love. Moments that work best for me are not the one that the two of them together, which actually they are already excellent, but they are the ones that they are by themselves and are trying to craft with their lost love, like the one where the older nurse with the rice cooker, and and the scenes where the younger one where she is on the train station, and the train just like got delayed because of the bad weather, and she's just wandering around the city, just like thinking to herself what uh why she had made all the effort for nothing. The Mumbai city itself, especially in the beginning scenes, uh, that has a very distinctive vibe. To the boys, it's become another characters to this film. So much so that I feel that the film lose a bit of its power uh, after the cast moved away from the cities. Uh, we like on But we also have the scenes where the older girl missed but I would say the ghost of her estranged husband. For what might not be real, I just love that ambiguous and the sensitivity with the characters. So yeah, overall I really enjoy the movies. It make all the right decision for me. Uh yeah, just a beauty little films. All we imagine a slide.
Okay. All right. Yeah. As I mentioned, yeah, I have seen the film,
Mm,
and I was impressed by it. I remember not being particularly enthused by the one of the final scenes, the one which
right.
I think you were just talking about, where
Yeah.
she meets that man who gets washed up on the beach, and he
Yeah.
speaks to her as though he's her husband,
Right. Yeah.
but in all reality, it's likely a dream that
Yeah.
she's having.
I think
Um,
so too.
I for whatever reason, I wasn't really grabbed by
Mm,
that scene.
yeah. No, understand.
Um, I wouldn't mind watching this one again. I would definitely agree with you that Mumbai brings a lot to the
Mm,
movie.
I agree.
Um, it's a really incredible melting pot of a
Mm,
city.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I like the theme of the movie too.
Mm,
That there's an older woman and a younger woman. The younger one is kind of rebelling against expectations for women
mm,
in like of her age in India or in Mumbai, or just expectations that have been placed on her externally. And then
mm,
the older one who has found like a traditional femininity by marrying her husband and keeping mostly to herself, and um, feeling unfulfilled in that and grappling with that, and
mm,
escaping Mumbai and finding perhaps more liberation elsewhere.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's a good movie.
Right.
Good pick.
All right. Top three now. I guess that we
Yep.
will have a lot more in common now. Let's see.
I mean, you've you keep saying that. I don't know. I mean, it's do or die time. We've already gotten through spots 10 through 4, and we only share one film so far.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Here's my number 3.
All right.
I'm gonna make a prediction and say you don't have this one in your top 10. This is How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies.
Oh, good boys. Yep.
What'd
I
you
mean,
say?
oh boys. It's just a little Thai movies. Let's see.
I wouldn't say little.
All
It's a
right. Yep.
Thai. It's a Thai movie.
Yep.
Um, I don't know. Maybe it's little. It is a family comedy drama.
Yep.
Um, but it's certainly not little in its emotional impact. Man, this film
Right.
wrecked me.
Ooh.
Uh, that's why it's here in my top 3 because the passing of the grandmother is just so brutal.
Hmm.
And the message that she leaves behind, the money that she leaves behind for her grandson, um, and the how his outlook changes as a result of getting to know her
Hmm.
is uh, quite something. One thing that I really like about this movie is the contrast between the opening and the closing scenes. In both of those scenes, have you seen this movie?
No, I haven't. But you can go on.
Well, I don't want to say too much about it if you haven't seen it, but I'll say the beginning and ending scenes are both set on Tomb Sweeping Day,
Oh.
which is
Yep.
it's a particular day in the Thai Qingming Festival.
Yep.
Perhaps it's a Chinese festival that is observed also in Thailand or in parts of Thailand.
Right.
Um, and it's a day when you visit the grave of your departed family members and you honor them by sweeping their tombs. And there's a particular action that the main character, whose name is abbreviated as M, that's how people refer to him, M.
Hmm.
There's a particular action that he takes on Tomb Sweeping Day, both in the film's first scene and in its final scene. And the difference, it's the same action that he performs, but the difference in his motive and in his attitude when he performs it is night and day as a result of his the bond that he's formed with his grandmother, who by the end of the film has died.
Hmm.
Um, which kind of brings the film full circle in a really, I would say, a very simple but also effective way.
Hmm. Yep.
It is a pretty simple film. It's melodramatic in some places, um, but it is very impactful. Um, there's a whole bunch of like turmoil, I suppose, within the family, M's family, his extended family,
Yep.
as various relatives of his are angling to inherit his grandmother's apartment because land, a property is very difficult to come by in this part of Thailand, probably because it's so, uh, the number of people living per capita is probably quite high, very crowded. So in order to get your hands on property, you have to come into it, I guess. It's probably passed from family to family, person to person. And that's initially why he gets close to his grandmother, is because he wants to uh, inherit her apartment.
Yep.
So that's his motivation, his selfish motivation at the start of the film, and it he is transformed over the course of the movie. You find out that each member of this family, his uncles who are competing with him to inherit this apartment, and his grandmother, all have their own, difficulties as relates to their parents or their other family members that have damaged them in some way, and make it difficult for them to, like, I don't know, relate to other members of their family. I'm trying to be a little bit vague because you haven't seen it, and I think in order for this film to really hit you, you have to go in a little bit blind.
Yep.
Not that it's really that twisty or complicated of a film, but it's it's this sort of film where its emotional impact is the number one reason to watch it. I think so. Knowing less about it is probably beneficial.
Okay.
Um, I'll say the performance of the actor who plays M is a little distant. At first he kind of keeps the viewer at arm's length because he is playing a very selfish character who is only getting close to a family member of his because he wants something from them, like he wants to profit financially.
Hmm.
Um, and it's not until later in the film, when his character has undergone an evolution, that the performance also evolves. Um, so I suppose that was a choice on the actor's part, or perhaps the director's part, that the performance would evolve alongside the character, and I think that's quite effective. It does detract from some scenes early in the film that the actor is not very, I don't know, very personable.
Hmm.
But by the time you get to the end, you'll be blown away. At least if you appreciate the film like I did. Uh, and there's tons of little details too to the routine of his grandmother's life that he becomes a part of. The way that he like learns her habits and her traditions and begins to adopt them as his own is very detailed. It makes the film feel very lived in. I also appreciated that. Um, so I won't say too much more about it, but it's a top three film for me this year.
All right. Is it a comedy?
Um, I would say it's a comedy drama.
Right. Hmm.
It is, there are parts that are quite funny, and the tension between the family members, despite their personal histories being kind of knotted up, can also be funny. Like the way that the uncles deal with each other and with their nephew, because they're all competing to inherit this apartment, is it can get you to chuckle from time to
Hmm.
time. But it's a I'd say comedy drama, leans more towards drama, especially given how sad the film ends up being at the end. But also, you know, hopeful.
Yeah. All right. Good choice. Really inspiring one.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
All right. Let's go
How
to
about
my.
you? What's your number three?
All right. Let's go to my number three. My number three is Anora from Sean Baker. So
Okay.
I actually saw him attending in person for like 10 years ago for in the Sydney Film Festival for one of his films Tangerine back in 2015 where he actually shot the entire movie by his iPhone.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Hmm.
it actually a pretty a pretty enjoyable film as well. It's about transgender who who also like in the fringe of the society, but they really have a good apart. It's definitely worth checking out at that time, and it was way before he become like the famous indie figures like he is now.
Right.
Um, Anora, uh, many many people like mention Anora as like the modern day Cinderella story. I agree that it's set up like once, so everything goes so right and faultless for Anora until things go wrong and out of control. So while the first half is fun, I feel that the second half where they like spend the night fighting her new husband is what make this one really stick out with me. Mikey Madison delivers an like a performance for the ages, and ditto to Europe Borisov. I saw him before in another film, and he was also fantastic. But there, so it's a comedy. It's very light, but it has an exquisite touch. There's hardly a step go wrong here, and it's a painfully believable, comedy drama. So For all that quality, Anora is my number three of 2024.
Okay. I'm just gonna jump right into my number two, which is
Yeah.
Anora.
All right. Yep.
So I guess we can just talk about it. Uh,
Wow. Yep.
it's I rewatched Anora last night,
Right.
and
Yep.
actually this was my process. So the last film that I watched, the last new film that I watched was I'm Still Here, and I was like, okay, this could be the number one film of the
Mhm.
year. Then I rewatched Anora, and I was like, okay, this could be the number one film of the year. Then
Right.
just today, I rewatched Black Dog
Yep.
and my actual number one film. And I thought both times, okay, these could be number one films of the year.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
I mean, Anora landing at my number two spot is not, it's not to say that it's not the best movie of the year. Maybe it is.
Yeah.
It certainly won enough awards to be. Um,
Wow.
yeah, it is. I'm glad you said it's a comedy because between the two of us, you're typically more reluctant to use that word, the
Oh.
C word, comedy.
Well,
But
I think.
it is very funny.
Yeah, it is.
The guy who plays Vanya,
Yeah.
when they, in the third act, when they show up at the courthouse to get the marriage annulled, and they find out hilariously that they can't because they got married in Nevada.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So their entire search was essentially for nothing. Well, at least it feels that way. They do end up going to Nevada and getting the marriage annulled and everything, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just such a funny moment when they realize they got married in Nevada. But the moment from that scene that was the funniest to me was when Vanya says to the judge, "I am intoxicated."
Oh my God. Yeah, yes.
It's
That guy.
just like gut-bustingly funny. I was like laughing regularly as I rewatched the movie. I think the first time I watched it, I was probably studying it a little more, like taking it in
Hmm.
a little more. But the second time, I was like, "This is a blast. This is just so fun."
Yeah.
Um, uh, and then, of course, there's the final scene, which is amazing. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know that I'm really qualified to speak about it. Like the intensity of it and
Right.
what it's
Represent.
supposed to mean.
Yeah.
But it's just uh, totally captivating. The performance is totally captivating.
Yeah.
The fact that Anora decides to make her move on him, on Igor,
Yeah.
after he reveals that the car belongs to his grandmother, is
Yeah.
so interesting because it positions Igor as the opposite of Vanya. All of
Hmm.
Vanya's wealth comes from his family, whereas Igor lives a much more modest life. And he's
Right.
the only person in the film who gives her anything
Hmm.
unconditionally.
Yeah.
Like with whom she doesn't have like a what's the word I'm looking for? A something relationship.
Yeah.
A transactional. She doesn't have a transactional relationship with him. He gives her the ring just because he feels that she deserves it for what she's been through.
Yeah.
Unprompted. He doesn't have to pay her, you know.
Hmm.
And she doesn't have to pay him.
Yeah.
There's no transaction there.
Yeah.
Although, when you think about it, in her mind, like perhaps the reason she decides to sleep with him, not sleep, they're not sleeping.
Yeah.
Perhaps the reason she
Hmm.
decides to have sex with him is as a way of repaying him for
Hmm.
the ring,
Yeah.
because based on her line of work, sex is a transaction.
Right. Yeah.
And I think the tragedy of that is probably like it's supposed to resonate as a result of that final scene. Like
Hmm.
she can't. He is like making motions and trying to bring her head down towards him to kiss her as they're having sex, and
Hmm.
like can't deal with that. Like her fight or flight response kicks in, and she like slaps at him and
Yeah.
ends up crying on his chest. But it's so like it's so such a strong scene, such a strong
Hmm.
performance. The layers of meaning behind it are perhaps too much for me to comprehend.
Hmm.
Um, but it's the fact that the film was waiting to drop that on us all along
Yeah,
after all of the ridiculous uh, scenes that it had created before that point, where she's like screaming at the top of her lungs and kicking people, and he's there's that scene where he's like pinned her arms to her sides and he's underneath her on the couch holding her in place,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and she's like she's starting to calm down and trying to bargain with him, like, let me go please, I'm not going to do anything, just let me go please. And there's a moment of silence and he just says no. it's it's just such a funny and honestly sad movie.
Yeah.
Her like her ultimate fate and what we learn about her, the way that she's damaged, makes it sad as well. It's quite a film.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. All right. This is a really good movie. So I just in lots of what to say about that. All right, we can
Yeah,
go to my number two then.
sure, let's do it.
All right. That one is the Brutalist
The
by
Brutalist.
Pradeep.
Okay.
Yeah, Pradeep Kubera. So speaking of scale, like I would say that no film this year have this grand ambition like the Brutalist. It examines the life and the struggle of Laszlo Toth. It have like a to the force filmmaking and performances, like many iconic shots of the buildings, the Statue of Liberty, like upside down. For me, the 3.5 hour runtime just short by, and I just love the intermission in the middle. Where we have like a 8 minute rest.
Right.
There are so many things to love about. So it beautifully shot. The performance is all good. The design, everything. The score is particular good as well. Uh, I I I think it really well paced and did not feel long at all. But the ending in particular doesn't really sit well to me. So there is an epilogue in particular where you get to fast forward to I think the 1980s when they're in Venice to celebrate the uh, all of the work from Laszlo, and it
Yeah.
it just doesn't really wrap up anything to me. Like I can understand the fact that the fate of Van Buren's is ambiguous. I can accept the fact. I don't see why he can pick up like everything Laszlo. I mean Laszlo pick up from there to finish the building. And yeah, and I just like it just feel like a really cop out solution for me. I know that a lot of people disagree with me on this, and they just keep like dissecting what the meanings of the epilogue. But for me, it just doesn't really work for me. So it just for me having like a number one material slot until like the very end, where I just don't feel that it just reached that level for me. So yeah.
Do you have good things to say about it? Other than that, it's a tour de force.
Oh, a lot. I like the performance. It's really good. I like the the journey that he made from like from when he was nothing until like he made something for himself, until he kind of like crumbled down because of all ambition and because of like the drug addiction as well, and then like all the things that happened in between the wife. Oh my God. Felicity Jones. I think she delivered like a really strong performance as well, which is like keep getting overshadowed by people praise of Adrian Brody's performance, and then there's Van Buren played by Grant Peace, who is I think a tormented figures, and yeah, they play up really well. So yeah, a lot of things that I get impressed about, but like just I totally impressed by just the scale of it, like the way that they try to make the film that that grand, and
It certainly
mostly
is a huge movie.
yeah, and which like a modest budget as well. It's not like a huge budget that they got here, but yeah, it just like it's the just the grand ambition that is the one that I will thinking most about this movie.
Okay. Sorry, I was trying to get you to
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, all good.
end it on a more positive note. You're number two on a more positive note.
All right.
Not because The
I
Brutalist is my number one and I'm biased because it isn't.
all right.
I didn't
Yeah.
really enjoy The Brutalist that much.
Right. Uh-huh.
I mean, there's the intermission, so it's the length of two films, and I watched the first half, and I
Right.
was like, okay, I'm into this.
Yeah.
Took a break, came back, watched the second half. I was like, what?
What the
Why did I just
hell?
watch this?
Right. Yeah.
What can you explain to me what the deal is with the rape scene?
Oh man. I think it's
Like
just
what?
one of these scenes. Y- well, I think he Vapuran just tried to overpower uh Laszlo in some way, like try to put him down because of
Yeah,
that.
there was
And
definitely a psychological element to it. Yeah,
I I just think that after watching the movie, I'm talking to my partner as well. We talking about that, and we say that in this movie, like even if you get so drunk or so like overdose or something, you remember stuff. You don't forget stuff because apparently Laszlo remember that he got raped.
yeah. He tells his
Apparently
wife, and then there's the
apparently
confrontation scene.
his wife remember everything after she got overdosed and nearly died. I just, oh my god. Yep.
Yeah, the film lost me in the second half, honestly.
Right. Right. Right.
It
No.
much like Van Buren himself, it crumbled under the weight of its own ambition,
Mm,
at least in my mind.
right.
Um, Pretty impressive looking film though.
There's a many amazing shot for me. I think the one that I didn't really expect that is the train. You see like I think it's right in the before the intermission where you see the train just going and then it's explode. And then it was like,
Right.
oh yeah, and
Yeah,
then
I was wondering what was going on with that shot because it was so protracted, and
right.
then the smoke or the steam or whatever
Yeah.
starts to billow upwards, and you're like, oh, something's about to happen,
Yeah. And
and
then
then it
it's
catches on fire.
yeah, and then it's affect directly to the plot. So I think it's just like a very, very nice way to, like to introduce that.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
It's yeah. I this is I think Conclave is probably my brutalist.
right.
It's a big prestige picture,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
but I just wasn't really picking up what the brutalist was putting down.
Mm,
Um,
okay.
and it's the sort of film that I doubt I'll ever watch again because it's so long
Right.
and it's just so long.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, it definitely an impressive movie,
Mm,
very large in scope
all right.
and with a lot of good performances.
All right. I think at this point I can guess what your number one is based
I
on
don't
all
think you
the
can.
information that you gave me so far and the audience so
Oh,
far.
actually, there is a giveaway. There's one
Yep.
thing I said that gives it away. Do you know
Yep.
what it
Yep.
is?
Yep. The film that make instruction. The
Yes. Do you know the title?
housekeeper for beginning.
What'd you say?
Housekeeper for beginnings. Is that for
Oh,
beginners?
no. I
All right.
did watch that.
All right.
Um, is that in Georgian?
I have no idea. I think it's instruction.
Okay. It's not that one.
All right. Hmm.
It's a half Georgian film, and it is
Right.
called Crossing.
Oh, crossing. Yep.
It's a film about a retired school teacher and a teenage boy, or perhaps a young man, who cross the border from Georgia into Turkey,
Hmm.
Istanbul, Turkey,
Yeah.
in order to locate the school teacher's transgender niece.
Right. Wow.
And it's like a really humanist movie. It's a very naturalistic movie. It's handheld. A lot of films that I really like are not handheld. I typically
Right.
prefer my camera to be still for the
Mm,
actors to move. In
mm,
this film, the actors do plenty of moving because they are traveling around Istanbul. And they're searching for someone, so that the out of necessity, their characters are constantly moving and being captured by the camera in motion.
right.
But the camera also moves in crossing. Now it's not Shunji Iwai levels of handheld chaos, uh, but it is noticeable that it's handheld. However, I feel as though the fact that it's handheld allows it to switch very naturally between capturing the city at large and also capturing the characters in more intimate fashion.
Right.
Um, so I enjoyed that aspect of the film. I thought Istanbul was photographed not very not very elegantly, but I think very beautifully nonetheless.
Mm,
Um, I really like the way that the film progresses through its story. First, you meet the school teacher when she comes to the house of the young man who eventually becomes her traveling companion. You follow them across the border onto a ferry that's going to take them to Istanbul. And when they get onto the boat, the camera follows them on, but then they walk out of frame and the camera travels all around the boat for like a minute and a half. Just a handheld, you know,
mm,
shot of the camera traveling through the boat, taking you on a tour of it until eventually it lands on the other principal character who you meet at that moment,
right.
who is
Mm,
a an aspiring lawyer and an activist for Istanbul's transgender population. And
mm,
from that moment on, the film finds really excellent timing to transition between the story of the school teacher and the activist until eventually they're united by the story. They meet, share a common purpose, and are able to progress in their search for the school teacher's niece. So the school teacher is played by, I don't even know how to say her name, Mzia Arabuli
all right.
is my best guess,
Mm,
and I think she gives the performance of the year
all right.
in this film. She carries like so much weight on her shoulders. She has lots of quips
Yeah.
and like put downs and insults that she deals out, but also plenty of softer moments as well.
Mm,
Because even though she's a very traditional character and resists the idea of transgenderism,
mm,
she still has a very soft heart. So
mm,
as she gets to know all the characters that she meets in Istanbul, and the young man who serves as her traveling companion as well, um, as she gets to meet and know everybody in the film, not just the transgender characters, but everybody who she meets in Istanbul, she at first puts up her guard, but eventually warmly accepts them. And every time she does it, the actress, Mrs. Arabuli, every, every time she does it, it's amazing.
mm,
It's the same. She's running the same play every time, written a little bit differently, performed a little bit differently, but it's the same general uh, miniature arc that she has with every character that she encounters, and it's always
mm.
like golden.
Wow.
Um, have you seen this movie?
No, it's just off my radar. So I'm aware about this movie, but I've never like really uh kind of wanted to check out until now.
Okay.
So
Then I won't say how it ends because there's a little bit of ambiguity to the ending that
oh,
really
right.
benefits from not knowing about it in advance.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm. Very
uh,
interesting.
I guess I can't say anything about the ending really because I can't even say why I can't say actually. But it's such a human film, about someone from an older generation who sees another, who travels to another city, sees another way of life and another way of being in all the transgender uh, people that she encounters, many of whom are sex workers,
Yeah.
because there aren't a lot of other economic opportunities for transgender people in the city.
Mm.
And she doesn't speak the language either. It's half Georgian and half Turkish,
Wow.
the in terms of the languages that are spoken in the film.
Mm. Mm.
And so she is going from door to door trying to find her niece and encountering all these transgender women and not even understanding their language and still attempting to communicate with them.
Wow.
And the film just goes about that process really thoughtfully and artfully,
Mm.
and it's just a really special film, in my opinion. It's very understated as well.
Mm.
The naturalism of the camera work and the simplicity of the script, I think, play into that. But it's also really, really elevated by its ending. It's fascinating.
Right.
Um, so my favorite of the year.
All right. I just gonna figure that the ending gonna be like the ending of Anora then. So to keep my expectation in line.
Nobody's having sex in the end of Crossing.
All right.
They're different at least in that
Okay.
respect.
Yep. 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 All right. Wow. What a
So
list.
we end up, so
My
far,
second one.
having only
Mm.
two films that are the same,
Yeah.
Anora and I'm Still Here, I think.
Yeah. Let's see this one would make it then. So uh this film of my number one is the one that premiered at Cannes and won an award there.
Okay.
And that one is not the one that you think of, I'm afraid. This one is Grand Tour by Miguel Gomez.
Grand Tour.
Right. So I am a big fan of Miguel Gomez. I absolutely love his Arabian Nights in 2025. Sorry, 2015, where he made like three movie, a trilogy. Uh, I love Taboo, the one he made before that. So I've been like expecting this one. This movie, Grand Tour, reported having a lot of walks out during the premiere at Cannes, even more so than the substance. So that to say something.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wow.
it's a story about like a man. So it's set in the 1917, where like the English still colonize some of the Asian countries. So there's a man who worked there as he's an English, but he worked in Rangoon, which is like the modern Myanmar
Okay.
uh, now, and he just got the news that his fiancee gonna come to visit him. So they've been together for 6 7 years, but they haven't seen each other for 4 5 years. And with him received the news, he actually fled. He ran away. So we kind of like tracking him, going from country to country. So he going to Thailand, to Vietnam, to Singapore, to Japan, to China, and along the way that his fiance, while he received the news that uh her fiance running away, she actually on her way to track him down by herself. So we actually also follow her going through this location as well from her perspective. But the thing that I think that really tests the audience is to suspension of disbelief, because the film jumped from the period set piece to the modern day. So when we get into uh, the scenery of of the countries that he visit, it's switched to the like the travel log of like modern day, but in black and white. So we get to see like the modern day Thailand, the modern day Vietnam, Singapore, etc. and we get to see the narration from this country as well. So we get to see a lot of narration in Thailand and all that. Not to say that they're supposed to be British, but they all speak in Portuguese, which is like the country where this country was made. And so
What?
so they all speak in Portuguese, and they all have a narration in like in other countries, in Asian countries. And yeah, so the whole film we just follow him, this man, his name is Edward, going through all the locations, and Molly, the name of the fiance who tried to track him down. uh Molly, I can talk about Edward, who like cowardly run away because his fiance going to visit him. But I can talk about Molly, who is very proud. She's just darling, and she enjoys staying her time in Vietnam in the films. So I love her. There's a lot of there's a lot of really funny scenes that like make me laugh a lot. So whilst Molly is in Vietnam, she actually stayed there for a longer time because she was sick at the time. So she get to meet like one of the men who fall in love with her. He's an European man as well, and he's have an estate in Vietnam where she can stay. Uh, in there, she actually met one of his servant, Vietnamese. And at the end of that, at the end of like the whole 2 3 weeks where she stayed there, she decided that all right, she must go on to find her fiance, and she wrote a letter to him saying that yeah, I have to go. P.S. I gonna take that servant with me, and it was like oh my god, that it's just a cool comedy, like I gonna take her with me. So she yeah, the whole thing is just a very strange but like unique because it's have like the rhythm that because that's very very much this film only. And it also have like a very unexpected bittersweet experience as well. Like at the end you really feel for this character. I feel a lot for this character Molly, and I just enjoy like the where this film taking me. Like even though that I know that it's not real, but like it just very unique experience that that you should go in to check out.
I, huh.
Right.
I'm not sure I totally understand what the film is about or why
Yeah. It
the countries are depicted
yeah.
as their modern day versions, but in the early 20th century.
Right. That's correct. Yeah.
Huh.
Uh,
I mean, I guess I would need to watch it in order to determine whether I would be one of those walkouts at con.
uh, you don't need to walk out. You just need to click on the exit button. It's even
Right.
easier.
Well,
But
I can just let the film keep playing, but walk away from my laptop.
yeah, well,
I
I
can
remember
simulate a walkout. But
I
I'm interested. I mean, I'm looking at the poster right now,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
it looks very cool. I like that the text Grand Tour is written in so many different languages and the different colors. I like that it's slightly askew.
yeah.
I like the
Uh,
panda at the top. Pandas are awesome.
yeah. So it's in black and white most of the time. It's like 90% of the time. There are depiction of like all the scenery of the country. So we would see panda in the bamboo trees, which is look absolutely stunning. We
Mm.
see the Vietnam traffic as they go around. So people would ride bike and car. What supposedly in 1917. So it kind of really just that weird sense of like it's so disconnected, but somehow it worked. It worked for me.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Very intriguing pick. I
yeah,
should definitely watch this.
it's just a singular experience. All the rhythm. I think they really yeah, because I'm just a fan of these directors. I know I've been like expecting his style, so I'm not sure if it worked for a general
Mm.
audience. So would love to see how you check it out and see how you go with this.
Well, expressing, you having expressed that wish that I might check it out, and of
Yeah,
course, I would also hope that you check out, films like
yeah,
Black Dog and Crossing.
yeah, yeah.
Not that either of us are, you know, the
Share
boss
our
of
top
the other
10.
one,
Yeah,
but uh, speaking of all that,
right,
I have I have an idea.
right.
Obviously, we're making our way through the decade. Eventually, we will hit the end of the decade, and we'll do, a top 30, 50, whatever films of the decade
Yeah,
at some point,
yeah,
assuming we're still podcasting by then.
yeah,
My idea is, so right now we're on an annual schedule here on Triple Cross Cinema.
right.
My idea is we move it to biannual, twice a year.
All right.
In August, we do the top 10 films of the previous year. So next year in 2026, August 2026, we'll do the top 10 films of 2025.
Right.
6 months after that, so every 6 months we'll do an episode. My proposal would be that, what's 6 months away from August? February, I think. In February's, we would do the top 10 films of a past year.
Oh, yep. Yeah, that's
What
the
do you
year
think about
before.
that?
The year before.
Yeah, so
So
like six
that
months from now in February, we might do, for example, the top 10 films
2021.
of 2021.
All right. Mm.
So for you, that would require just a little bit of rewatching, as you have already seen an abundance of films from
Yeah.
those years that we might discuss.
Yeah.
For me, it
Many.
would require probably more new watches.
Yeah. Many of
But
them that
that way, I'll
I'm.
be able to catch up to you, and that will help us prepare for an eventual decade list or just look at films from past years in general.
All right. We can do that. Yeah, I would say that a lot of them that I don't even remember how it ends or how the story goes. So worth a rewatch.
Well, you probably have a top 10 list from past years already, and so you might just take that opportunity to rewatch like those 10 films or
Mm.
maybe like 12, to see if any others might replace some of the ones that you currently have listed. Something like that.
Right. Right.
Is that of interest to you?
That that sounds good to me so far. We might do that.
Okay.
Not in. Yep. Maybe I would say around February or March. That would be good.
Okay. That's just an idea. I mean, to
Mm.
anyone listening to this, no promises,
Yeah.
but it's something I'm interested in doing. Sounds like Mario may be interested as well.
All right.
So, we'll see.
Yeah. I make a top 10 prediction of Wooper and
Yes, let me log
just
on to
yeah,
Discord and check that out. So obviously you thought we were going to have 5 films in common. We ended up having two.
yeah. And it was just way off.
Okay, so you got Anora right, and you got I'm Still Here.
Yeah.
I did see Daughters.
Yeah.
I did see By the Stream. Yeah, By the Stream. Um, very very cool film.
Uh-huh.
I liked it all. I would be interested in checking out more of that director's work.
Oh my God. He making like 2 films per year. So you have a lot to check out.
His movies do seem very like kind of casual and conversational
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and very like I don't know, very free flowing. Like it
Hmm.
wouldn't be difficult to shoot them perhaps. He
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
just get all his actors together and move from location to location.
Yeah, and his film feature a lot of people, like in a just drinking, in a shop, just drinking and eating, and just like just randomly saying some stuff. I think it's featured that in most of his films. Uh,
Yeah,
I really interested in watching his stuff. He just make a lot that like it's
right.
it's hard to follow up sometimes, but I've been a fan of him as well.
Okay. So it looks like you predicted 3 cuz you also got The Seed of the Sacred Fig.
Right. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
correct.
you got three correct. I did see Daughters. I wasn't particularly. I mean, it was. I shed a tear or two because of the daddy daughter
Hmm.
relationships and everything, but I wasn't particularly uh, hot on that film. A Real
Right,
Pain. I could take or leave.
right. Hmm.
All We Imagine is Light. Definitely a film I respect, not one I connected with
Yeah,
very much. The Count of Monte Cristo. Well, okay, I watched The Count of Monte Cristo.
right,
I was amazed by it, and kind of in the same way that I was amazed by Wicked.
right. Yeah.
But The Count of Monte Cristo doesn't have songs, so it loses out there.
Yeah,
And then, yeah, dude, Nickel Boy's the first person thing. I just wasn't into it,
right.
unfortunately.
All right. Yeah, I want to talk a bit more about the seed of the sacrifice because I said there's just some twists that that make the film move in different direction. So the first one
Oh
would
yeah, so
be
you didn't have Sacred Fig on your top
no,
10, right?
no, I didn't.
Okay. Right,
Uh,
those twists.
the first one is where like he just realized that he lost his gun. So that would change, like the story into, like more familial drama. But there are little twists after that because like he got so paranoid that he get them the daughters and even the mom uh in like blindfold them
They're interrogated.
and yep, that's correct. Um, they couldn't find anything, but it actually hinted later on that the youngest daughter had the gun, and it's the second twist that I just feel doesn't really make sense to me. Like so, like all of his paranoia were actually correct. That's he is suspected his daughter just the one who got the gun, and they did, and I was
Yeah.
like it just kind of like under undermine everything that come before. So why don't make it like more ambitious? Like he forget it somewhere, and that the daughter just saw that somewhere, and she decided to to take it or hide it without like thinking about like that would set him off in a big way. Like all that, and then yeah, and then there is another twist where their details have been postponed online so that he had to take everyone to the country town where, So yes, there are a lot of twists and turns. I'm not sure if I totally on board with like what happened later on. I know a lot of people been really rave about these films.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just not, you know, I just say that it has like some real issues that I cannot take o- overlook it.
I see.
Right.
All right. Well, I mean, the daughter taking the gun, I didn't really have an issue with that. Well, I mean, thinking
Hmm.
about it, it doesn't make too much sense why she took it, I suppose.
Right.
But I don't know.
Yep.
I guess
Well.
I'm fine with it. I mean, she took the gun maybe for her own protection
Uh,
because of what happened to her sister's friend.
yep.
And I really love that scene, by the way, where
Right. Yep.
where
Yep.
the
Yep.
mother removes the buckshot bullets
Hmm.
from
Wow.
her face,
Yeah. It's
because you can
unflinching.
contrast it with the way that she prepares her husband's head for the haircut.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
she like her caring nature is on display both times in different contexts.
Right. Yep.
Um, that'd be my guess. I guess now that I'm thinking about it, she probably took the gun for her own protection
All right.
because she was
Uh,
afraid.
so
I don't know.
this film got banned in Iran
Yeah.
for obvious
Yep.
reason to the point that I think the director was detained, not detained, but like they about to put him as in a house arrest until he had to like cross the border illegally.
Yeah. He escaped to Germany, I think.
Yeah, and defect basically. I don't know if he able to go back to Iran ever seen or the actor. The one who played the husband cannot leave Iran to attend the Cannes festivals.
Right.
So yeah, make it
Yep.
the more powerful.
Yeah, I don't it's tough, man, because Iranian cinema is so awesome,
Right, I agree.
and yet the the political situation there is so not awesome.
I I would say that partly because of the political things over there that like that uh inspire them to make
Right.
more movie that like that this angry because
Right.
we can
Right.
really see the angriness in here.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, the fact that the patriarch of the family ends up buried alive with only his hand
right,
like escaping the ground is definitely
yeah,
an
yeah,
angry image, I think.
yeah. And now her his daughter is that manslaughter? It's not manslaughter. It's oh my god. So
No, I mean
she had to live she had
she
to
shoots
live
the
with the fact
ground
she had to live with the
underneath
fact
him.
that she contributed in ending her father's life for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
How do you
I
take
don't know
that?
what she would be charged with. I mean, and there's also the matter of like Islamic law.
Oh, right.
The punishment that she might receive in Iran might be different than
Gosh. Yeah,
the punishment she might receive in a Western nation or
yeah,
just another part of the world in general.
right. Wow. Oh God.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's kind of messed up, but hey,
Yeah,
I enjoyed the film, so there's that.
right. Yeah. All right. Good list that we both have here. So we got a lot of stuff, and so this year even more so than last year, we got the top 10 where sorry, we got a number one film where the other haven't watched. So it
Yes,
went
again.
much better. All right.
Yeah, I don't know if a tar situation, a 2022 situation, will ever arise between the two of us again. We do seem to have pretty different.
Right.
Not. I mean, our tastes are not there. There is some overlap between our tastes in film, but
Yeah.
the films that we choose to watch
Yeah.
end
I
up being
agree.
different from
Yeah.
one another.
Yeah.
So, I
All right.
mean, we're gonna have to correct some of those oversights before the end of
I
2029.
I agree. So I'm keen to check out your list here. Crossing, Black Dog. I think those one I would be enjoy. Even like How to Make Millionaires Before Your Grandma
Oh,
Dies.
you haven't seen that either.
No, I haven't.
That
Yeah.
one, I mean, I think you'll like it, but
Mm,
I mean, it's definitely a crowd pleasing movie. It's not really
mm,
an art film at all.
yeah.
I mean, you watch it if you're in the mood to feel something,
Right.
um, but it won't leave you thinking. It'll leave you thinking about your relationship with your family and your grandmother,
Yeah.
but it won't leave you thinking in the same way that a film like, for example, April, your number
Mm,
nine film,
yeah.
might leave you pondering.
Right. All right, guys. So I know it's 8 months after 2024, but I think it's a long time for us to check out all the films that otherwise not available during the beginning of 2025. So here you have it, our list of the top 10 films of 2024.
Yep, and we'll be back in a year or perhaps in 6 months.
Yeah,
In the meantime, you can check us out over at Double Cross Anime,
right.
where we talk about more than just anime TV shows. We also talk about some films. For example, Totto-chan, The Little Girl at the Window, which was on my list this year. Blue Giant, which was on my list last year,
Yeah,
and a range of other animated projects, both televised and in the cinema.
right.
So you can check us out there. Check us out here. We'll be back, and we'll see you later.
All right. See you for now, guys. Bye.